Welcome to a Binary Homeworlds commentary video. This is a game between ts52 and Ajo, played during the Homeworlds Live Winter League tournament in 2021. And my name is Babamots. I'm going to be commenting with Bruno. Say hi, Bruno.
Hi, Bruno. No, that's me.
And we'll be seeing what these players did and commenting on their choices. So in this game, ts52 is going first.
All right.
He's picked a fortress setup with the usual green ship, and he picks blue and yellow stars.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not uncommon.
I'm not sure how it's going to develop this game, of course, but I would have to notice that even if you have the same size of stars, you can swap the colors, and I'm still not sure if that makes any difference for the rest of the game, but we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see. Alright, Ajo picks Banker Home, also with green ship. He picks the blue and red. Blue and red is my personal preference most of the time, but blue and yellow is pretty popular these days.
I use it all the time.
Alright, I expect both players will build a little ship.
Right.
Yep, of course. Not really another choice here. Let's see what ts52 does next. He trades for red right away.
Okay.
So, because he's traded for red here, he's probably made that choice because a red piece was used, a small red was used in a star, so the red economy is going to take off very quickly.
Yes, that's exactly why sometimes when I second, I'll take a ship in the color of one of my opponent's stars and prepare an attack very soon.
It can be harder to build the colors that are in your home stars, so I think red is a good choice.
Yeah.
Okay, and Ajo, he goes for the yellow. He goes for the color that is not in one of his home stars, that is one of his opponent's home stars. But Ajo is probably going to get locked out of red pretty quick here, because if ts52 builds another small red, there won't be any small reds left. Ajo may have a hard time getting into red.
Interesting.
Yeah, sure enough. ts52 builds a red. I'll mention that this is not a live game. We are watching this as a replay, so I am controlling when the moves take place. Though I don't remember offhand who wins.
So actually I have a lot of questions about what just happened, because I remember some games I played against you, Jonathan, and you just did the same thing to me, and I'm still puzzled about this. You know, it seems very harmless to have this red small star in your homeworld there. That's ts52, but you got a disadvantage seemingly for that. Can you comment on that?
I sometimes refer to this as the small star problem. Anytime that you have either of your stars as a small piece, you're giving a boost to the economy of a color that you are going to have a harder time competing in. So the red economy is accelerated. You see that the medium ships are already available for building, and red is the color that Ajo is least prepared, well, is relatively unprepared to compete in, because he's got this red ship, this red star in his homeworld, because that's one less ship that you can build before overpopulating. And in this case, Ajo has not even chosen to start in the red economy. He didn't even get one red ship, and
wouldn't that be a reason not to actually have a homeworld with a small star at all?
Yeah. So that I think is that is my argument for not having a small star in your home. That I think is one of the major strengths of the fortress setup, where you have a large and a medium instead.
Okay. I think that suffices.
So Ajo's turn next. So he builds a little green. Okay. I bet ts52 builds. Yeah, he's
Yes,
going to pick
I
up
would
that
do
first medium ship. So he's
that.
getting
Yeah,
a
mm-hmm.
getting a nice lead in material here. He'll probably try to capitalize even more on this partial red
Sure.
monopoly he's got going on.
Probably going out to a green star later to build more red or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or who knows?
Yeah, I think that's pretty likely. Let's see what he does. So Ajo moves out to a blue, and I really like doing this when I can. Put a green star in a blue system, or a blue star in a green system. It's like a mini homeworld where you can build and diversify. So ts52 traded one of his reds for a blue, and I think that's pretty smart. He can build more medium reds and trade them for other colors, and skip the small pieces in the bank with exploiting his red monopoly here.
Okay.
So Ajo builds another green. Now Ajo's doing all this footwork to use up the small ships, but of course if he builds another small, then his opponent is going to be able to start building the medium greens. So he's doing the work, and ts52 might get to...
I noticed something about blue. There's no medium blues anymore.
Yep, that's true. So once the small blues get used up, if they do get used up, then it'll be straight to the larges.
That's funny. Yeah, there's 2 medium blue stars. That's why. There's already
Yep.
2 medium blue stars in the Homeworlds.
Right.
That's
Yep. There's only room for one medium blue ship.
seems
And
to be the reason. Remember that I said that in the beginning about swapping colors, but I think that might be the reason why ts52 had the medium blue and not the medium yellow. So he could have swapped those sizes, but because his opponent had a medium blue, he chose this. Maybe for that reason.
yeah, I don't know. The choice of which sized star is which color affects the bank for the whole game.
Well, here, suppose he had a large blue and a medium yellow, it would have the same abilities in ts52's homeworld, but now that he also took the last medium, so he's basically seemingly preparing for getting those large blues.
Yep, that could be.
Seemingly. I mean, I'm not sure, but we'll see.
I would, I think he's, so ts52 is probably, it would be easier, I think, for him to get access to building more large pieces by going through the reds rather than the blues, because he has kind of shut Ajo out of red, and both red and blue, there are 3 ships to build before you get to the larges, and ts52 would probably rather get 3 medium reds than 3 small blues. And the blues, of course, Ajo might choose to join the blue economy at any time by trading one of his small ships for a blue.
Right. Maybe it's a turn. We'll find out.
And then he'd be competing for the larges as well. So I think if he wants to go for the larges as quickly as possible, he should be doing it with the reds. But I like what he's just done here. He's done kind of the mirror of what Ajo did. He's put a blue ship in a green system, so that's a system where he can continue to build and diversify. It's a mini homeworld.
Very nice. Yes. All right. Let's see what happens.
So Ajo now, So Ajo finally has a medium ship, and so he could trade this for a red ship. That's probably what he'll want to do on his next turn, if I had to guess.
Okay.
He's not in danger of being invaded just yet, but things could go south for Ajo pretty quickly if ts52 gets more yellow and Ajo is caught without any red ships.
Yeah. Alright, this is a promising game.
So ts52 built a medium green here, which I think is
Sleeping soon enough, someone is going to sacrifice their large green to build all the greens.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be Ajo's choice here. So ts52 built this nice medium, and he may not have noticed that. He may have expected ts52 to simply build a medium green, and then ts52 might have expected Ajo to just build a medium green up here, and thought that he himself would get to build the large green. But instead, if Ajo's thinking like I am, Ajo's going to sacrifice his large green to build a medium green and a large green, and build back his original large green. He's got just enough space to do all of that.
Yeah, there's
in
no
these
yellow.
two systems. He'll have
ts52 is a little bit disabled right now, so he can't move his greens in to cause overpopulation. So that would be the ideal timing right now.
Yeah. ts52 doesn't have the yellow to send out a green ship for a catastrophe. So I think that this is what's going to happen. He's going to build those greens. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this turn one action at a time, because I'm not going to.
I want to say that I never watched this game before, so for me it's like
interesting.
It's an absolutely new experience. Otherwise, I would have said what's going to happen, but I don't really know.
Yeah, so I am very surprised actually that instead Ajo chose to trade his medium green for a red. I think it is important for him to get into the reds.
Right. He could have done it later, but he could have traded for a large red.
Exactly. He could have done it. He could have done it later and traded for a large red. I think that
that's what building. I think
that, gobbling up the greens was an opportunity that was only going to come once. Trading for a red is something that he could have done on his next turn. I think that was a mistake. All right, well, that was his whole turn. So now it's ts52's turn again. Let's see what he does.
He's going to do. He's trying to look at those greens too. I think it's very exciting.
Okay. No, he built a red as well. He's
another red.
Medium red. Okay.
Not sure.
No, not sure. I mean, at this point, the green sacrifice can't get you all the greens anymore, because
so that's like, what are we going to do about this?
If you sacrifice the large green, that puts that large green back in the bank, and you can build medium, medium, large, but then there will be a large, the one that you just sacrificed, still in the bank for your opponent to build. So I think continuing to build mediums like this is the best that either of them can do at the moment.
Okay.
And that makes good sense.
It seems to have been a stalling tactic also by Ajo, because now the game is going a little bit slower than it could have gone.
Yeah. So he went ahead and built that last medium red. His ts52 shouldn't build a large red, because of course we'd have 4 reds. That'd be an overpopulation, so he won't do that.
Yeah.
He
also, I realized that he had a reason for this medium blue, but he could have traded the medium blue in the previous move for a red, and then he wouldn't have the problem right now.
That's true. But then he would have had a medium red here at a green system, and this is that's what I call a Gilligan. He's
Gilligan. I think I got it from you.
he's
I use it all the time now, the Gilligan.
That's a red ship trapped at a green system. He's like Gilligan from the show Gilligan's Island. He can't get away. That's a red ship that can build a few things. He can build more red ships, but it can never.
But how about blue can always trade, of course.
Yeah, blue can always trade. So I think that he really made the right decision, because that would have been trading away his only blue. I think that building the red was the right move. But okay, well let's see what he does. See what he does next.
Yeah.
Okay, he moves one of his reds out.
He's gonna try and build that red anyway, one way or another.
Yeah, but then he's not so much of a Gilligan anymore, because at least he's got a blue friend that can let him
my
trade.
question in this situation is, for instance, he wants to build red, so I was wondering if he could go to a different star to diversify his system. Like do a yellow, but then he couldn't build it over there, I guess. Yeah.
Right.
he has hardly any yellow. That's ts52. He's out of yellow right now, and he would be benefit from more yellow right now. But
yeah, I think so. I think Ajo's going to build one of these large reds, and then I think that ts52 is going to sacrifice his green in order to build the other two large reds.
Yeah,
that's probably what I would do, and he'd build a medium green while he was at it, or maybe a small blue. Let's see. All right, so here's Ajo's turn. Oh, interesting. He passed up the large red and just traded one of his medium reds for a yellow. That makes a very happy system. This is a system with one piece of each color. That's as many pieces as you can have in a system with the least danger of overpopulation. You've got access to every power. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it is.
And you know, considering that building a large red would allow his opponent to get the other two large reds, maybe this was a good choice.
Yeah, I agree with that choice. Yeah, that's really a tactical move. Increases your own ability to build more of your own desire and block your opponent. Yeah, I like it.
I pretty often say that yellow is the real key to victory, and he's got two yellow ships. They're already in different systems. Ajo's got a pretty good head start in the yellow economy. So I think if even though he's down in material ever so slightly, he's got one less medium ship and one more small. But I think that choice of having more yellow gives him an advantage right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what ts52 does.
Okay.
Builds a little blue. And now either of these blues he could very reasonably trade for a yellow, and then he'd have a happy system of his own.
Yes.
Oh, looks like several things happened on that turn. I think that was a sacrifice. Let's do action one at a time. Yeah, okay, so sacrifice the large green, build medium green at home, and builds the large green back. So he did a factory. Ah, okay, so that's good. So he got two builds. He got two medium green builds out of that, and as much as ts52 would like to build this last large green in his home,
oh, now there's medium yellow.
He shouldn't, because Ajo would sacrifice his medium yellow to move the little green in.
That's a threat. Yeah. That sucks for ts52, because what he's going to do now, he should actually get yellow soon, because Ajo is going to get the last green. So also green is very powerful to have a lot of green with.
Yep. I think he needs. He ought to get yellow. I think.
Ajo is getting ahead right now, I would say.
Yeah. Okay, and he did. ts52 traded the small blue for a yellow. I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, a little bit late. Okay. Better late than never.
And, yeah.
Yellow, nice.
So, Ajo...
No. What happened? He traded a... What did he do?
Sorry.
He got the last green, yeah. He got the last green. Like we said, he would. Yeah. And since ts52 doesn't have a medium yellow, he can't do anything about it.
Right. ts52's greens are all down here, and even though there are two of Ajo's systems with 3 greens, including larges, ts52 doesn't have a medium yellow to sacrifice to get anything over there in time. So he could start moving this green out one at a time, but I'm sure that Ajo would react and have his greens split up before he got anywhere. All right, well, let's see what ts52 comes up with. Yeah, so did just what I was saying. He moved his green to a yellow system. So if Ajo doesn't break up this trio of greens,
see, it seems I was talking about the yellow. He used the small yellow, but he freed up yellow for Ajo now. Even he's helping him basically.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
That opens up the medium yellow for Ajo to build. He could even build 2 of them if he or
Yeah.
he might even consider sacrificing his large green.
Yeah. Build more yellow now.
To build yellow, to build all of those yellows.
Yeah.
To build rather to build 3 of the yellows. But that would leave a big green available for ts52 to build, so probably won't do that. But I bet he builds, well, or no, you know what? I think I would do.
You know what's ts52 going to build with all those greens? Then there's nothing much to build left.
Oh, it's Ajo on top.
Maybe.
It's got all the green.
Okay, yeah. So if Ajo would sacrifice his large and ts52 gets it, what is ts52 going to build with it? That's my question. Sorry. Yeah. So, you know, even though, so I think maybe Ajo could actually sacrifice his large, because yeah, without that much yellow, ts52 is still stuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think though, if I were Ajo here, I would strongly consider invading colony number 4, moving his large green down to system 4, threatening to start attacking some ships. Although he doesn't want to sacrifice his only red, so maybe he'd want to build.
You know, what about sacrificing a medium green then, a little bit milder? So at least he gets 2 builds out of it. Gets either 2 yellows or yellow and a red, wherever he wants it, and it's all medium, so it's all good.
Though if he does that, his ts52 is prepared to build 1 yellow ship or a red ship here in system 4. So if Ajo sacrifices his medium green to either build both of the medium yellows or, say, the medium red and medium yellow, then ts52 is that opens up the larges for ts52 to build either the large red or the large yellow, depending. So I think
yeah, maybe not.
I think he'd like to avoid that. It's Ajo would probably like to keep ts52 from getting another large ship, so that he can abuse the fact that he's got a large ship that can
so
away.
we're going to suppress ts52 a little more, start attacking him. Okay, with green towards system 4, that would be a great deal.
I think that's a pretty good move. He's got other good options. So
I agree with you, Jonathan.
Ajo's in a good position.
See what happens.
Yeah.
He does it.
Yeah. So.
That figures.
So ts52's got to figure out what to do about this. I think.
Cool. What can we do for him?
I think a likely choice is to sacrifice the small yellow to save the medium blue, and now there's nothing. There's only the 1 ship here to attack.
Right. So you're saying that now it's likely that Ajo is going to sacrifice his medium red? If ts52 doesn't do anything?
Right. So
now it was Ajo's move, say.
Yeah, if it were Ajo's move, I think he should sacrifice his medium red to attack the medium blue and the red ship.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's already a bit of a win there.
Yeah, that's basically a very large threat right now. Whoa. Yeah.
To which Ajo would he might sacrifice his little red to gain back the small red here. And so after that whole exchange, Ajo has no red ships at all. And
that's the thing.
So he'd need to be careful. So I don't know. He may not really want to. This may sort of be a bluff. Ajo may prefer to just make ts52 waste time and forcing him to get hoping that he'll sacrifice his little yellow to run away, rather than sacrificing his red. Well, let's see.
I want to think about his position a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Because I'm considering what would happen if now, there is this slow doomsday machine going. Maybe what's happening there? No, yeah, I was thinking about what would happen if Arjo is going to invade with green in TS52's homeworld. Is that going to work already or not yet?
No, not yet. So you're wondering if Ajo is set up to start moving greens into TS52's homeworld to blow up TS52's only large ship. Not quite yet. So if Ajo just had all the time in the world, he could sacrifice his little yellow to move in one green ship. And then he could sacrifice his medium yellow to move in one more green ship. But that's only a total of 3 green ships there, and then he's out of yellow. So he would need to, for example, Ajo either needs more yellow or he needs some of his green to get closer to TS52's home before he can do that.
Yeah, it's heating up. Okay, so let's see what happens next.
Okay, let's see how TS52 responds to this little invasion. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. So I'm undoing that move. I'm going to do it one action at a time. So he sacrifices the little yellow in order to move his medium blue out. So he sacrificed the yellow as a squonk to make that piece unavailable for capture, and then with that move action, he moved out what he considered to be the more valuable piece, the medium blue, rather than the small red.
Yep.
And that's
also now it doesn't see it wouldn't. I don't think it would benefit Ajo to sacrifice medium red to just capture a small red. I don't think that's going to happen.
No,
so that's what's going to move the blue out. And what else? Is that a threat to Ajo's homeworld or not yet either? No.
TS52's got 1 blue that's right next to Ajo's homeworld, but until he gets a few more of them up there, if TS52, for example, were to either move his green from 5 to 6 and start building, or if he were to sacrifice this green to build a couple of blues in 6, then that's starting to be a threat to Ajo's blue star. But if I'm Ajo, I'm not too worried about that just yet.
Would you agree that TS52 right now is a little bit underdeveloped? He can't do much. He's just trying to run away to keep things safe.
Yeah. So just at a quick count, TS52 has got 6 ships, and Ajo has got 4, 8, 9.
Yeah.
And they are. He's got an additional large that TS52 doesn't have, and he's got just a really strong system here for more building and diversifying. That's
all right.
The TS52's in some trouble, I think. All right. Well, let's see what. So Ajo's turn now. The big question here is: does he sacrifice that medium red in 3 to capture the small red in 4? No, he does not. Well, let me.
That's good.
Yeah. So this is a sacrifice move. So let's watch this close.
Oh yeah, the medium.
So he's doing a factory. So he's sacrificing his large green, and he's going to build medium yellow. He builds back his large green first, and then builds the medium red and builds large red, all in system 3. And even though that's three matching reds,
exactly.
TS52 no longer has a way to move a red.
Yeah,
system 3.
He has no yellow ships at all.
Yeah,
and he can move a red in, so that's like yummy for Ajo.
Yeah, and so. Even worse, if TS52 were to build a large red here in System 4...
Or he could lose it. Oh, you lose all of it.
Yeah, Ajo will just capture it. And if he builds a large red back here, then Ajo might choose to sacrifice a medium yellow to move in a red for the catastrophe. So ts52s still can't
I think
get
Agile
another
is going
large
to
ship.
move the red ships to a small yellow system.
Hmm.
If ts52 isn't doing anything about it, and there is already a small yellow system. Actually, you can go to 5.
Yeah.
And ts52 wouldn't be able to do anything about it. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes on, but it's basically now a squeeze. I would call it a squeeze. It's just a matter of time, I believe.
Having a tough time. I think so. Here's a strategic point. You suggested that ts52 could move one of his reds to System 5. I think that he would be better.
No, sorry, I was talking about Ajo. He has the large now, and he can start approaching ts52
okay.
5.
Yes,
so then
that's true.
ts52 couldn't do anything about it.
Right. So if Ajo discovers a small yellow system, then he's starting to poise himself for.
I'm just saying he could put more pressure on ts52 by moving to 5. So then, if ts52 wants to keep his green, he has to run with that way too, and then it's just losing moves.
yeah, he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I would if I were ts52 here, I would be feeling pretty hopeless. But
yeah, exactly.
I think my move would probably be to discover a new small yellow star with one of my reds here at home. Because then, unless Ajo,
you can just move to that yellow system. It will be 6. It will be number 7. It would be 7 small yellow system that you're talking about.
Yes.
But then Ajo just moves in either large or medium to that system.
Yes, he could, but
red. I mean,
but so Ajo could then harass the new system. He could threaten to capture it with his large, for example. But then ts52 would at least have an opportunity to build a large red and have a second large ship that he can move around and start to defend these colonies. So he might lose a ship over here, but he'd get to gain a large, and I think that's where he's really hurting, is he hasn't got large ships to defend his colonies.
So you guys, it's the quest for the large reds right now.
Yeah, so
there's System 4, and there's System 1, and possibly a small yellow coming up. Okay, we'll see.
All right. Well, let's see what he does. No, interesting. Okay. Instead, ts52 traded his medium red for a yellow. By doing that, he's got the option to sacrifice that medium yellow to move his little red into System 3 for the red catastrophe. But I don't think Ajo will be tricked by that. I think
no, I don't think so.
He'll break up his reds.
Of course, we agree that ts52 needs yellow, but losing his medium red is also a liability, because if he gets invaded, he has only 1 red to defend.
Yeah.
Or 1/5. Well, we'll see what happens.
All right, let's see what. Looks like a lot of things just happened. Okay, I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna redo that turn, one action at a time. So first action, that was it. So that's a yellow sacrifice. Sacrificed a medium yellow.
Okay.
And now moved large. No, let's see. So it's. You're right.
Oh,
so moved the large red from 3 to 5. The systems changed places, which is why that looked a little confusing.
Is there a reason for that? I noticed that in another game that I replayed, and I think, what's happening, and why the system changed order? I don't know the reason for that yet.
I don't know precisely why they changed places in this case, but so before the large red moves, System 5 could be said to be under ts52's control. He's the only person who has ships there. But after Ajo moves in that large red, I would say that System 5 is now under Ajo's control.
Okay.
And it's most usual to put systems on the right side of the play area from the perspective of the person who has control of that system. So
the larger chips, it seems, maybe the most pips or larger chips. One of those criteria are used.
Yeah, I don't know the algorithm that's being used here, but
that's something I didn't use in my own games. When I play with physical pyramids, I don't move my systems around just for moving in a large or anything, but it might actually help to indicate to my opponent that something drastically has changed. I'd consider doing this.
Yeah, it can help you keep track of what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's one of the things I like about this website is compared to Super Duper games, for example, is that the layout of the systems is meant to be the more traditional sort, where you've got systems with the same star marker size laid out in rows, and there's a...
I like it too, because actually it's so simple. You just put the star, and then on each side just a number of chips, and that forms the system, and that's exactly how you play. Instead of, I was thinking earlier how to build a system like this, an app, and you think, oh, how do I do this with this board that always changes and stuff? So, and Super Duper games, I think they have the idea that they can move the system around when it's become necessary, and it's all confined within a certain square. But here you don't need squares, nothing. It's very simple.
Right. Okay.
I like it.
So we actually left this this turn mid move. So Ajo has used one of his 2 yellow sacrifice actions. He used one of them to move his large red to system 5, and then we got confused by the rearranging, so let's see how he uses the other action.
From his homeworld?
He moved so he moved a medium green from his homeworld to discover a new large blue system, now labeled as 7. Okay.
Cool.
So he's threatening System 5. He'll capture this medium green unless ts52 gets out of there. And he may have been... Yeah, he wanted to separate his greens at home, I think, because if he hadn't, ts52 could have sacrificed his medium yellow to move his green ship twice into Ajo's home.
So he solved 2 problems. He solved 2 problems at once.
So it was an attack and a defense. Yep.
Yeah, and he saw the potential overpopulations that could have been caused by the ts52 yellow 2 sacrifice.
Yeah, so two defenses at once, and an attack. So pretty neat.
Yeah, this is high quality stuff.
Yeah, that was a good move. All right. Let's see what ts52 does. So I'm going to undo that and do it one action at a time. He has sacrificed the medium green that was at system 5.
Right.
And then he's building that medium green back in his home. And then he's using the other green action to build a small blue in system 6.
So that's called teleporting of green.
A green teleport.
Yeah.
And so ts52 is in a state of just trying to build some ships without them getting captured immediately, and he's having a hard time of it. So that might be about as good a thing as he could have done. But he's...
the one I think about it, seems actually the first opportunity that he had compared to what we have seen in in all these moves up to now, that ts52 didn't actually have much opportunity to build much yet. Right. So that was the best timing somehow, even though it seems to be a defensive move, but it's also building his fleet more, and it's a good timing. But only, seemingly the first time that it was actually possible or something.
Well,
it's hard to say.
I think So you say maybe it was his first chance to build.
No.
I think it was a big mistake back when we were talking about the Reds.
Yeah.
I think it was a pretty big mistake for ts52 to not try to push the red economy to break into those larges, because if ts52 had a large ship out here in one of his colonies, then he'd have a colony he could defend, a place where he could build, and instead he's just having to run every time that Ajo decides to invade, and he is invading a lot.
Yeah.
All right, well, Ajo's turn. Let's see what he does. I think there's a good chance he'll move his large red from 5 to 6. Nope. He is just... So I undid that again. So he's just traded his little green for a little blue.
Okay.
Ajo's going to want to get blues at some point in order to...
You might want to get yellow at 4 so he can invade Homeworld.
Yeah. So...
Maybe still trying to get the large blue also. He can now sacrifice the medium green to build all the blues. But not yet. No, not yet.
Not yet.
But,
that would be... If he built both of the remaining blue pieces in System 3, that's an overpopulation. But he's getting ready to compete in the blue economy. So I think maybe what he's considering here is that if ts52 goes unchecked, he'll be able to spread out these blues and continue building blues, and might actually get another large ship, which is what he desperately needs and what Ajo would like to prevent. So he's preparing to get involved in the blue economy himself.
Another thing about it, Ajo can just move one of the ships out of his homeworld and build the last blue as an investment.
Yep, that's true. So he can...
So I don't think ts52 is going to end up with the large blue unless he trades in his homeworld. He can get the... Well, who would do that? You know, trade your large green for a large blue and then give your opponent the opportunity to build a large green. That's also... That's not working.
No, yeah, ts52 doesn't really have good choices here.
No, it doesn't seem that way.
Let's see what he does here. Trades his little blue for a little green. Okay, he's hoping to do some more building out here in his colony. Because
with the blue we can get into yellow there more later, hopefully. Possibly. More yellow, but it's already a yellow star, so it's also not ideal.
Yeah, but it's kind of a moot point, because anytime that Colony 6 here gets interesting enough, Ajo will just move his big red in there and start eating whatever he wants.
All over the place. Ajo is definitely ahead right now.
Yeah. Now let's see what Ajo does now. Yep. Okay. He decided that System 6 was juicy enough just now, so he's moved in.
Put some pressure on it. And what went back to the bank? That was the previous system was
It was a small yellow.
A small yellow.
A small yellow star just went back to the bank.
Yeah,
okay. Well, let's see what ts52 does.
He's just constantly running away now.
Yeah. So he could have sacrificed his medium yellow to save both ships, but that's a pretty big loss to if he loses a medium. So I think we're seeing a good demonstration here of something that I advocate, which is that if you are down on material, if your opponent has too many large ships for you, then you have to keep your fleet very spread out so that your ships can escape at once, because as soon as you've got 2 ships in the same system, your opponent can move in one of those larges, threaten to start capturing things, and you can only escape with one of your ships. You'll lose the other one. So I think what ts52 needs to do generally is only build ships in his home, and then move them out to yellow stars where they can run away as soon as Ajo invades. Because, like we just saw, almost as soon as he's got 2 ships in the same place, Ajo invades, and ts52 loses a ship. So
Yeah.
I think Ajo's going to lose.
So we're predicting that Ajo is going to capture that little green, even though it's only little, but it is important to keep the pressure on.
Yes, I think that's very likely what's going to happen. No. Oh, yeah. Yes, he did. He did. Did he do it with the sacrifice? Yes. So
No.
okay. So I'm gonna undo that move, and I'm gonna step through it. So one action at a time. So Ajo sacrifices his medium red in system 3, so that he can attack.
Oh, 2. Yeah,
So he can attack 2 at once. He takes the green that he didn't actually need to sacrifice for, but he wanted to sacrifice something.
So but rolled 4, yeah.
So that he could also attack that little red in 4.
So he got this red back basically, also that he kind of lost.
Yeah. So he's got the same number of red ships, though. He sacrificed a medium and captured a small.
Oh wow!
But he also captured the little green. So
what he also did, he reduced ts52 to 2 systems, and it's only the home world and one other measly small yellow world with 1 ship in it.
Yeah. So Ajo's got this pretty well in hand here.
Yeah.
And so that's the end of Ajo's turn. Let's see what ts52 does. He builds a
medium red.
Medium red. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he obviously needs more ships, and I think that's about the best he can do.
Okay, well, Ajo also got into yellow.
Ajo also builds a medium red. Did he sacrifice for it? Let's do this one at a time. Yeah, so he does a factory. He sacrifices his large green, builds back his large green.
All right.
He builds he builds medium red here in system 4 and a large red. I missed that up here in system 3.
Yeah, no, it's hopeless for ts52 if you ask me.
Yeah, unless Ajo could always make a huge mistake. It's been known to happen.
Yeah. ts52, for instance, has an opportunity to sacrifice his yellow 2, move 2 reds to 4.
So he could.
But that's a big sacrifice for what game? Hardly.
Yeah, he would. If ts52 did that, he would have no yellows and no reds left.
It's not.
And so, and he would be losing more material than his opponent would. He'd be losing medium, small to destroy medium, small. And when you're behind on material, you need to make really economical choices about what to destroy. You need every exchange to be very much in your favor, and that's not in his favor.
Yeah.
But so let's see what ts52 does. Okay, puts his yellow out to a blue system.
Diversifying, then?
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe what he's got in mind is a factory move. He can sacrifice his large green to build, say, he could build 2 yellow ships in 9.
Yellow, and the green. So he built his large green back in his home world, and then he has 2 other builds, either 2 yellows or a yellow and a blue.
Yeah.
Or 2 blues. See, Ajo doesn't have blue ships. Oh yeah, he does have his blue ship there in 3.
Yeah.
But Ajo is also low on yellow, so I think that will be his next move, is to get some more yellow. Ajo's move.
Yeah, let's see what he does. Okay, Ajo trades his large red for a large yellow.
There you go. See? Exactly.
Yeah, he needs
very good move.
Some greens for.
Now it's really going to look threatening.
So Ajo on his turn, if ts52 doesn't do anything about it, could sacrifice his large yellow to move his large green into ts52's home, and then use the other 2 actions to move 1, 2 for a catastrophe, and then ts52 would have no large ships at all.
And no green, so how's he going to build anything?
Yeah, well, so he'd have to trade one of his He's got access to blue, so he could trade for green, but not having any large ships, it'll take a couple of moves for Ajo to get a large ship to his home, since Ajo doesn't have medium yellow or larger to sacrifice anymore after all of that. But ts52 would be in really big trouble. But he will probably do something about that. I think sacrificing his medium green to build blue and yellow, maybe. Geez,
it doesn't.
He's just in a lot of trouble. He could say, he could trade this medium green for.
But if he wants to, though, I would sacrifice a large green, not the large, not the medium green.
Well,
because otherwise you lose your medium green. Oh, wait a minute! You're saying that's the threat right now, yeah?
Because the presence of his only large ship being the same color as another ship in his home is a problem for him right now. So he needs to get rid of one of those.
What about trading for yellow? Oh no, he didn't do it.
No. So I think this might be the problem. Okay, I didn't quite see what happened here. He moved. Oh, okay. So that was a simple move. He moved his small red from his home to system 8.
Yeah. Now that I would call a losing move.
And I think that signals the beginning of the end. I think Ajo will bring in his greens for the catastrophe.
I bet on it.
No. Okay.
Oh, he's merciful or whatever.
Oh, he's gonna build even more. All right, watch this. So we'll do this one at a time. Okay, so sacrifices the large green, rebuilds the large green, builds large red, builds large red.
Yeah, what I would call this is insurance policy. Yes. So you want to be sure that your attack is going to work.
Yeah, so. He's taking no chances whatsoever.
You never know.
All right.
That's against 5. This is really 6 ships. 6 ships of ts52. Only one large ship. That's low right now.
ts52 has 6 ships total.
6 ships total.
And Ajo has 6 larges. Green, red, green, yellow.
That says it all.
Yeah, it's we'll see what happens, but
it's going to be a big explosion.
I'm not sure there's going to be anything too interesting left. All right, let's see what ts52 does. He sacrificed his medium yellow to move. Where is that? Okay, to move his medium blue from. I'm just going back and forth to try to keep track of this. To move it from system 8 to system 7, and then to move his small red from system 8 to system 7.
I have a request out to basically have a description of the move that's being done somewhere in code or in any other way.
Yeah,
you don't have to do what you do, like going back and forth in actions when you play a game. It's really interesting or important that you know what is going to happen, so you don't have to do all this.
That would be nice. That's not a feature that's been developed yet. I had a talk with the developer yesterday, and I gave all kinds of suggestions about things that could be added that would be really handy. That was on the list.
Cool.
But along with all these suggestions, I always have to say, the site is incredible, and I am very pleased to get to use it, even if there are some things that I think could be better.
Yeah. The funny part is it's called glitch.me or something, but it hasn't been glitched on me yet.
No, when the developer paid some money for better service from Glitch, so the site is now more fully supported by the Glitch server, and we haven't had.
Now that you mention it, is it possible to support a developer?
That's not something that we've got set up yet. The developer paid for a month of nice service for the sake of this tournament and all of the new traffic that the site is getting right now. I think if the site is going to be supported long term, that the developer would appreciate some funding, which I will probably be involved in setting up. We may have people donate just out of the goodness of their heart, or I may start asking for donations for people who participate in tournaments so that we can support the site. It's not set up yet, but that's it's on the horizon. Anyway, so ts52 sacrificed his medium yellow. I don't think there was really a point to this move. I think that was the first move of ts52's that looked like a giving up. He's that looks more like feeding his two ships to Ajo.
Yeah.
Ajo can sacrifice a red and capture them both. And,
Yeah.
Let's see if that's what happens. Yeah, so Ajo sacrifices medium red to capture the blue, capture the red.
This is like putting more pressure, as if that were possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's
doing nothing and letting it just sweat him out.
So he ts52 builds a medium red. Ajo, let's see what just happened. He sacrificed his large green, rebuilt his large green, built a little yellow, built yellow.
He's not so eager to invade, eh?
No, he's either. It's possible that they are just goofing around at this point, or Ajo is playing it very, very safe.
Wasn't this a tournament game?
This was a tournament game, yes.
Oh, okay.
So ts52's turn. He trades one of his reds for a yellow. Ajo's turn. I'm going to do this back and forth a little. He moves his small blue from 3 to 4. ts52's turn. He builds that medium red again. Ajo's turn. Okay, it looks like he's finally ready to do something. Okay, so he sacrifices large yellow.
Okay.
To move.
Okay,
here we go. To move red, and move red, catastrophe, and move green. Okay.
Oh wow.
So now,
no.
ts52's got no red. He can't attack. He can't attack this invader. He can't even cause a catastrophe with it because there's no green to trade for or build, and he's got no other ships to move in. So ts52 is going to trade his medium for a red.
No.
And
Interesting. Hold on, not too fast right now. It's interesting now. Ajo can just sacrifice his medium green. He's saying there's only one green in the bank, but the sacrificed green can also be built.
Yes. So, yes, at this point, Ajo could, if he wanted, sacrifice, say, his large green to build the medium green from the bank, and build the large green that he just sacrificed to catastrophe ts52's only large ship. But
you can do a medium green sacrifice. That would be less dramatic. He only needs two builds, so he can do a medium.
Yes, that's true. He could sacrifice a medium green to build 2 medium greens, so that the medium green he sacrifices goes back to the bank and build 2 medium greens in ts52's home to catastrophe the greens. But the better move for Ajo here is simply to win by sacrificing his large red to capture all 3 of ts52's ships.
With one swoop.
That's what I predict. There it goes. Sacrifice the large red, capture, capture, capture. And that's it.
Oops. No, that was exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And to comment.
Yeah, I think Homeworlds games are almost always exciting.
Especially
this one.
The game.
This was maybe a little slow at the end when Ajo was playing it very safe, but the build-up was certainly fun.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you very much for this opportunity to comment this game.
Yeah. Thanks for joining me. I'd like to do more of these commentary broadcasts and recorded videos in the future. And people who are interested can contact me if you'd like to join me for a commentary. Then we can try it out, and we'll have a lot of fun, teach a lot of Homeworlds, and watch a lot of games.
Exactly.
So, thank you.